we are not going to end this show without doing a little bit of an update in Canada. First of all, I put out a tweet earlier that said Joe Rogan should absolutely have on Jeff Evely, the man who got the $28,000 ticket for his act of civil disobedience. I put out a tweet and tagged Rogan. Absolutely have him on. He's a veteran. Jeff Evely is a veteran, despite the fact that CTV News refuses to identify him as that. 20-year veteran in Afghanistan, Iraq. He's a man who served his country. He's a man who fought for the very freedoms that he is now fighting again for. And yet CTV News and legacy media in Canada can't bring themselves to identify this man as a veteran. He's a veteran. Here's a link to the tweet. Go out there, please, share it, tag Rogan so that he can get him on. It would be wild. Plus, if Rogan thought he hated Justin Trudeau, which he was right and righteous to do, he might discover that he probably has good reason to hate Mark J. Carney. Not quite as much, because Mark J. Carney, 3 passport-carrying globalist whore, has not yet done the damage that Trudeau did, but we'll see. Share that out. But the updates in Canada on the forest fires, it's so amazing. I've got a not a mole. He's a friend. He's up in Canada. He sends me all this stuff, and it's fantastic. The news. Do you remember when they banned the hiking, and I was making jokes like, "All right, now they're going to ban tap dancing shoes and corduroys," and I'm like, "Oh, are you hiking with Flint-soled shoes, Madam CTV News contributor?" It's like, who the hell has ever kicked a rock and caused a spark and started a forest fire? You want to ban burning? Obviously. You want to ban campfires? Obviously. You want to ban cooking? Obviously. No one would even say boo to that. You want to ban ATVs? Some people might complain. There's more of a rational basis to that because at least you have a combustible engine that can overheat. You want to ban drones? Obviously. By the way, check this out. They did the drones. Now, this one's not such a big deal to me, only because it doesn't come as a shock, because the fines for drone violations have always been ridiculously high in Canada. I've said it before, they've criminalized drone recreation. Nova Scotia Department of Natural Resources says, do not operate drones in a wildfire area. It is illegal. It can interfere with our firefighting efforts. The fine is $25,000 under the Forests Act. There could be fines under the federal legislation as well. I obviously agree with this one. This one's a no-brainer. You're flying drones when planes are coming down to dump water. It's a problem. Flying drones in general, if there's a dry forest hazard, makes sense as well, because those things crash. They've got lithium batteries and they burn like the devil. I think the fine was already $25,000. It just seems like the price of criminality. The price of criminality in Canada has just gone up. We're now $25,000 for everything. So I can understand the drones, but there was a fire yesterday that broke off, and it's an amazing thing here. Look, you got to see, and you got to cue my Ron Burgundy. I don't believe you. Waterfront MDA in Halifax. Fire today. Sparks from breaking rock on a construction site at 276 Bedford Highway ignited a quickly developing fire. It's since been put out. I don't believe you. I don't believe that breaking rocks, caused a spark that started a fire. What were they doing to break the rocks? If they were using dynamite or something, I could understand that causing a fire. I don't know what this hose is here. I look at this. The heavy equipment operator noted the soil was dry as flour, a reminder of the extreme wildlife we're facing. Today, sparks from a construction site at 276 Bedford ignited a quickly developing fire. You notice that they're not telling you what the sparks were from? If it's from heavy machinery, maybe that's the same reason why you outlawed operating heavy machinery in forests or vehicles. Fortunately, crews were put on, blah, blah, blah. And we don't get any details. Was it a construction worker's cigarette? Maybe. Was it the detonating device? Maybe. Was it the muffler on a machine? Maybe. I do not believe it was from sparks from rocks being broken. But the madness in Canada continues unabated. And let me see here. What do we got here? They're shutting down shooting ranges, firing ranges. From the New Brunswick CFO, all shooting clubs and ranges closed until further notice. Dear Sir, Madam, August 9. From the province of New Brunswick. On August 9, 2025, the province of New Brunswick announced that due to the extreme fire risk and to protect sensitive habitats, all activities on Crown land must cease. This restriction took effect at midnight, yada, yada, yada. In alignment with this provincial directive, the Provincial Firearms Office is advising that all shooting ranges operating under approvals of New Brunswick Crown land leases must immediately suspend operations until provincial ban is lifted. We also strongly encourage all shooting ranges not located on Crown land to consider it. We are now hearing the word Crown land. That's going to make Americans vomit. The public land in Canada is owned by the Crown. The subjects don't have unbridled access to it. It's the Crown's land. And the Canadians are being reminded that they are not free citizens. They are subjects of the Crown.